We're so excited to talk about the new season, and we want to thank everyone for tuning in to episode 111 of the Guardian Hub podcast, where guess what? We talk about Destiny and our love of the game. We sometimes bring on different guests and communities and talk about other topics too, but this week we are going to be talking about Season of the Splicer that just came out. We just have Kingsley Mac, Sin, and Des Raven. How are you all doing this evening?
I am doing pretty darn good myself. My first day working from home was not bad at all. And granted, it's not my my entire switch into working from home. Like, I still going to start my other job next Monday, but it was nice. I didn't drive anywhere, didn't spend any money in gas. I actually ate at home for lunch and didn't spend any money for lunch. It's going to be it's a nice change of pace.
Well,
would you say it's magical?
I would say it is truly magical.
Truly magical.
Oh,
yeah. What about you, Des? Anything magical on your end?
Sort of. I mean, I've been all right. I've actually been decent, so yeah.
It's, hey, every day's a win that we are alive and we are at least decent or better.
Right.
All right, and I've had a good, pretty decent stretch of being decent, so yeah, it's a win.
Awesome, and everything is awesome. If you want to break out in song, what about you, Kingsley? Anything magical for you?
Oh, I woke up this morning to a pretty bad headache, and it didn't go away. And stupid me, because I don't like taking painkiller pills or anything for that matter, because not that I don't know why. It's just, it's not like I refuse to take them, but I don't really worry, but I don't want to ever become someone that like gets addicted to anything. So I'm like, I don't need it. I'll just rough it out. But I should have just taken one Advil like in the morning and it would have made my whole day better.
Like any normal person, right? Just take
exactly,
one.
Right? I mean, I remember, growing up, high school, seeing friends take like 4 to 8 Advils, like the slightest sign of a headache. I'm like, I just don't want to be that person. But all I need is one anyways, and I feel better. And then sure enough, by the time the afternoon was coming around and I was doing some things in the game and it was getting worse and worse, I'm like, okay, I need to take an Advil. Why did I wait so long? And then I took one, and then I finally felt better about an hour later. So now my day is truly magical.
Nice.
Even though it wasn't earlier.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, that's it. And today's also tax day for those of you that file last minute, because I typically owe some money. I mean, everyone owes money, but, I owe it after the fact. I don't pay it out of like a, paycheck. So, I just wait till the last minute, and luckily it wasn't too bad this year. I got everything filed and taken care of, and so that's another small stress thing off my plate. And now I can just enjoy the game some more and have a fun time talking about Destiny tonight.
Nice.
Hooray.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully you didn't get crushed too bad in taxes.
No.
That's, I know, one thing that can happen with business owners. You got to kind of...
If you know what to do, you actually usually pay less money than working people. It kind of sucks. I wish it wasn't that way. I truly do. I wish like people that have regular wage jobs could not have to pay as much taxes too. So
for all the tips, tricks, and guides for taxes, please contact Kingsley Mac.
Well, or hire a CPA that knows their things.
Or just Kingsley Mac.
I don't know all the things. I just have my accountant do it.
And now you know.
Or just overtax yourself. That way the government owes you money.
Yes.
You're right.
Yeah, and then you can, because I'd rather have them hold on to the money than me have it in a higher interest money market account.
I mean, exactly at that point in time, it becomes like a weird extended savings account.
There you go. Yeah,
You lose a little more money through the year, but you always get something back at the end. So
that is true. That is true. Yeah, I think I looked at the numbers. The accountant always gives you what's your they show what tax bracket you're in and how much taxes you're supposed to pay, but with like deductions and everyone gets some credits and things like that. But my effectual tax rate was like 3.2%. That's pretty darn good. So can't complain there. But I don't know. I just need to still save money month to month rather than pay a bill, yearly.
Yeah.
So it's always safer. But enough of that. We don't need to bore people with that. I'm just, again, happy to talk about Destiny. We're here tonight. Boy, there's not much to talk about, so let's just end it. All right?
Yeah, dead game.
Yep.
See you guys next week.
Next week. I mean, there'll probably be something for people to talk about in the community and complain about, and we can talk about that. Oh, wait. There probably already is, but
right.
Let's start with just our general experiences with the game. I do have some specific things I want to get into about some cool weapon rolls with some of these weapons that we're getting introduced to. And anything you all want to talk about, of course. But initial impressions of the game, Des, you loaded it up and tell us what you think about the activity, the story, just any impressions you want to take the conversation to.
Considering I'm probably that guy to focus on this first, I am giving some pretty big props to the Bungie writers this season. Because the first thing that the thing that kind of blew my socks off with this season was how well they've done this transitional view of or how they've taken our view of the Fallen and completely turned it on its ear for this civilian faction, essentially, in what are essentially a group of pirate warmongers. So it is fantastic to hear about the tragedy of everyday life for the Elixni. So yeah,
and that's related to those cannibals, right? In that new space, which is really cool. In the old Scourge of the Past raid area, play space, they revamped it into, what would you call it? I know a lot of people are calling it a fallen camp, but it's basically where
it's a refugee camp.
Camp, where Mithrax and his group, what do you call it?
House Light.
House of Light, yes, are hanging out for now.
Yes. Extraordinarily close to the city, which apparently nobody really likes.
Okay, let's talk about this for a second. To me, I'm okay, I don't get way dramatic into games for some of these things, and all of a sudden I started seeing oh no, what's going on? Team this, team that, and are we super concerned? I'm not really. I'm just going to let the story go where it wants to. I'm not going to worry about it too much. I thought it was really cool. We're working with the Fallen. We're working with Mithrax, and I don't know. I don't see any problem with this right now. You can take the story however you want down the road, but I think it's the coolest thing ever to learn more about this race and work with them and have a play space where this is all going on.
Indeed.
And when I started seeing team, Lakshmi or team, Mithrax or whatever, I was team, I don't really care, but I am excited. I guess if I had to pick one, I'd be, more on the, not that I'm on the Fallen side, I'm just on the side of it's interesting right now. I just want to see what's happening. And I trust them. I trust them. Are we saying, I think I heard Gator a little bit on their latest podcast, all the baby Fallen are going to turn into captains and then take us over. I'm really? Because Mithrax isn't doing that. So why would they all do that?
During their golden age, everyone, one of the scanners will say, during their golden age, everyone was the size of captains. Because they actually explain that their ether isn't just their substance, it's basically their growth hormone. So not only are Vandals, dregs, malnourished, they're actually growth stunted Fallen.
Yeah.
It's not, like I said, it's not just food, it's part of their life cycle. and they have to, like I said, what they've done, they've really, because it kind of echoes back to an old line that Varric had in House of Wolves, or potentially a little later than that. But he made mention that, Varric makes mention that he keeps the old Elixni ways.
Mm-hmm.
But these groups that like just attack and kill are truly fallen from what they once were. So I love the fact that they've kind of furthered this divide. That also on a side note, anyone that claims Team Mithrax and calls it Mithrax, you're all a bunch of posers. Because for Elixni, it's Mithrax. Just saying. But anyway,
I can still be on the side without fully understanding it.
I mean, yeah.
I'm I'm not a poser. I'm truly interested in this side, and maybe I should learn more about it.
Exactly. And this is like some of our deepest information that we've had of like actual like respawn fallen or Elixni. I mean, it's fascinating also to see. Like someone made mention that the ward that they draw, like to supposedly, scare off guardians so that way the babies can sleep because, the boogeyman can't get you. If this ward is on the wall, hilariously, that ward is in the shape of Saint 14, their biggest demon, essentially.
Yep, I noticed that. And everyone's talking about yeah.
Oh god, and the way Mithrax actually mentions the saint. Oh, so good. Like the voice actors and the story writers really have it like just so good this season already, and it's just the freaking start.
Yeah, just the first week. And it's pretty cool that Lakshmi's back, even though, if we're concerned about what she's saying, it's cool that we have that whole thing back, and then there's just everything is just lots of information right away. And
I mean what's to be nervous about someone that's leading a group that has sent dozens upon dozens of innocent people into insanity by strapping them to a Vex machine? What's wrong with that? What could possibly go wrong?
Right? Yeah. I know. I always liked Future War Cult, not because of the ideas. It was just because of the weapons, and I loved the futuristic looking tech stuff. But yeah, you're right. I mean, if we're talking about the factions, there could be bad stuff to be said about any of them, but also
exactly.
Future War Cult definitely has some bad stuff.
But hilariously, I was talking in the Guardian Down Discord. Oh crap. His Discord name goes by like the Keeper of Lore. There we go. Keeper of Lore.
I've seen that name around. Mm.
Yeah, I've actually had an in-depth talk with him, and I think I stumbled across a realization that Lakshmi herself might not be that bad.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll have to see how it goes into, because they have Future War Cult has a Vex machine that can potentially like look into the future or see possible timelines based off of a device, or the machine was built by Maya Sundaresh. She sent a few people into insanity. Another undisclosed Future War Cult member experimented sending dozens of people into insanity, just to find someone that can basically look into the future. But one thing I realized is Lakshmi in her story, I haven't been able to pinpoint exactly where the stories are, so I haven't seen the source of them, but Lakshmi was found by Future War Cult. She was like wandering. And when she was taken in, she was apparently very quickly brought into the inner circle, and part of the goal of bringing people into the inner circle is to strap them into said machine to see if they can see the future. Now, an old Grimoire card in D1 made mention that maybe the human mind just isn't equipped enough to look into the future like that. But Lakshmi isn't human.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, we've learned a lot about Exos at the start of this expansion with Deepstone Crypt and Clovis and all this, that, and the other. So I'm thinking, potentially, I don't think Lakshmi is directly connected to those experiments. I think she's the good outcome. I think
Okay.
she might be the one being strapped into this machine to see possible outcomes. That's my thoughts, potentially.
Yeah.
Hopefully in this season we may find out. Because that and either A, Lakshmi is, like I said, Lakshmi is either going off secondhand information. You know, someone told her that this group of Fallen is going to do stuff, which is never good to go by. Cops don't even go by secondhand information. If they want to ID somebody, they bring the person and like finger them out. Or she's strapping herself into the machine to see into the future. And once again, it's Vex machine. What can possibly go wrong with that?
Yeah.
So yeah,
So
I'm looking at Lakshmi with a cautiousness right now.
Yeah. And if we've learned
But
anything too, it's not like we're going to, if you really care to take a side, not that I mean, it's a fun thing that people are doing, whatever, but it's a little early also. It's like,
yeah.
Who knows what's going to happen?
But hilariously, I think this is probably the exact intention of the writers, like to create this divide. Because this is the exact same kind of divide that the city in game is feeling right now. Because you have people like Osiris willing to give these Elixni a chance because they can help us. And then you have people like Shmi that are just cautious of them. But then you have someone like Saint that's dedicated most of his guardian life to murdering Fallen. I mean, lore cards made mention that he made it like a personal crusade to fight the Fallen.
I mean, of course, our whole mission too with him on his season where we were in the what was it? Were we in a simulation then? I forget the whole details now.
That was time travel.
Time travel. Okay, yeah. That's what it was, but still that was like the epic battle against the Fallen.
Was it really time travel even though it was through Vex simulations and the sundial that they got there?
Considering he's still alive, yes, time travel. Or he's a Vex simulation, which is what I hate about the Vex, because there's always that loophole that maybe somewhere like another 10 years down the road, Destiny's story ends, and it ends with, it was all a Vex simulation, and we appear back like the Black Garden or something, where it started. I will be so mad. I will be so mad at this game.
What do they call that? Is that like a Deus Ex Machina? No, I forget what it's called.
Bad writing, that's what it's called. Dogs have become excited.
Well, I'm still confused about this whole Vex simulation time travel, because could the simulation, I get the time travel aspect, but I mean, if it was a simulation, that simulation could have been accessed from any point in the Vex timeline. So, I mean, is it really time travel if he just exited the simulation at a different point in time somewhere else?
But he didn't exit the simulation at a different point in time somewhere else. He potentially went to exit the simulation in the same place that he entered, just very much later, because of a massive battle with the Vex, which we actually stopped the Vex from claiming him. And besides, you're also considering that the Saint as a Vex simulation is existing wholesale in our world. Which also isn't the most unheard of thing, because we do still have because again, the point in time where Maya Sundaresh apparently built this machine for Future War Cult that led to Future War Cult is a whole nother speculative thing, because apparently people are listing it after the original Ishtar Academy experiment where the Vex trapped them in a simulation, and there were a bunch of copies of them and they saved their copies. Apparently this machine came after that, so was it actually Maya Sundaresh? Was it a copy of Maya Sundaresh? Was the person that would then later, after the machine, terrorizing Clovis Bray, is that Maya Sundaresh? Is that a copy of Maya Sundaresh? That's why I hate the Vex. Time travel is like the least of the problems when it comes to Vex and it hurts. It hurts my brain.
Hey, let me ask you all a question. Because I'm
Sorry about the dogs, by the way. I forgot to put them away before we started tonight.
So, has anybody played the King's Dock Lost Sector and the Tangled Shore since this new season?
No.
No, not since.
Why is there a Vex scannable inside there with these little things you can shoot and a Minotaur?
Oh, I heard something about that. I think
nobody wanted to mention it to me, or like to this point. Like I just happened upon it.
Well, because I don't think it's anything interesting yet. I'm sure it was brought up on Twitter or Raid Secrets, but nothing's. Obviously, if something big comes out, someone will post it in the Discord in spoilers or something. But I don't think anything we know if that will be anything meaningful yet.
Okay.
Also today, I finally ran across hearing the Oracle sound in Last Wish raid. I was going into to do the Shuro-Chi checkpoint.
Oh.
And I know this has been around forever, supposedly, but I've heard it for the first time myself. And then I just really got to thinking, yeah, no wonder people were making a big deal of that. Like, why the heck do we have an Oracle sound in the opening area of the in the Last Wish raid?
Yeah, but also at the same time, considering how they're handling Vault. I mean, because, yes, nothing is entirely confirmed, but if you notice on your nifty director, there's a new node called Legends for legacy raids, dungeons, and other past content. So I don't think they're actually going... I'm not 100% certain if they're actually going to make the Return of Vault a story thing.
Yeah.
Not with that tab.
I know, too. I don't necessarily know that anything will happen with this, although I guess it's possible something after the raid gets solved that maybe the world will have, kind of like what's happened with other raids, the world will be somewhat changed or new things will be brought in, right? And so maybe there'll be some exotic quest where we actually have to go into these other areas like Last Wish to deal with oracles or deal with something. That's probably what's going to be more likely, if anything.
Who knows? I mean, like I said, I guess it was pretty much a pipe dream, because especially when they announced this as a Vex season, I was kind of hoping for maybe a story-related thing, but like I said, as soon as I saw the Legends tab, it's like, yeah, probably not.
Yeah. Well, boy, yeah, we're just all over the place, but that's how we like to roll here. Any other thing about that camp area? And maybe we can go on to, if you want to talk any more story, go for it, and then we can.
Oh my god,
talk about
I could story for a while,
right?
Oh, Jesus, because like, yeah, just for those that didn't realize there's scannables in that area, just look around, have a good look around. There are a lot of scannables. There are a lot of like heartbreaking stories in that camp. It is ridiculous.
They have the little replica of the Traveler, like how we have the big balls that come out in the tower, where they have like this patchwork one, like a ball or whatever it is, created back in the corner.
And it has such a sad line too, because Ido actually mentions that even being under the Traveler, like where the Traveler sits, she still finds more comfort looking at that thing than actually looking at the Traveler. It's like, oof.
Okay, and then after that area, they bring us into the new area of the Helm, which I guess makes sense. You know, you come into the Helm, you have not the Forge, what were they called? The decoder thing.
Yeah.
But then instead of going straight ahead where the war table was, you go off to the left.
Yep.
And our new unlockable /vendor /upgrade thing is all into that area. Which,
yeah, I love the fact that they're using those doors. I always thought those doors had a purpose when looking at them, but of course I never really knew. And then kind of gave up. And it's like, well, maybe they're just doors and they're for decorate. No, apparently not.
No, yeah, and then obviously next season it's probably going to be off to the right instead.
Right? And I love that. I love having. I hope they continue with the helm or like helm-like areas for like the life of expansion, essentially. Because this is another really good idea. Like just having all the seasonal stuff culminating in a singular area. It's just really cool.
Yeah, it makes sense for sure. And of course, the decoder has the option to get the past season stuff. It has two, when you go into it, two areas, and then or the current season. So that's if you want to actually charge, an Umbro Ingram to a specific item. But what do they call it? I should be loaded into the game, but the servitor that we talked to, but he has the upgrade. Let me beam down there and see. But I want to call it the right thing. But the area is pretty cool.
All right.
The splicer servitor. Sorry, I was just looking on the map, but you could first go in there, you're like, oh, this area is a little bit bigger than I even expected.
Right. It's actually and it's pretty much exactly like the key art that we've seen for it too.
The what?
Because I know that the key art that got released for
Oh yeah,
this season. I mean, it's set decorations and everything. Like you're seeing Human and Elixir like actually working together in this little area, and that's a really cool like little touch.
Okay, walking up to it right now, Splicer Servitor, and we have, just the Spicer Gauntlet. That's right. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So the thing that confused me, I thought the Spicer Gauntlet, I know I said in a previous episode, was probably going to be the artifact, but no, this is the thing you upgrade, the Gauntlet.
Yeah. It's our Cabal Hammer.
Yes.
/ Wrathlord / I think that's about it, actually. Yeah.
Which confuses me because I think of a gauntlet as like something, I don't know, smaller or something that should be an artifact, but whatever. Our actual artifact is the Paradrome Cube. And that's a Vexy thing. So, at least it looks like it. Right? Is it a fallen?
Yeah, I never actually did. Oh, no, it's Vex data. Like,
yeah.
for sure. But actually, at one point in time, I wanted to look up, and I never remembered, see if the word Paradrome was actually a word.
Well, what's cool is when you upgrade the artifact, it adds more to the picture, too. It's like you're putting a puzzle together.
Yeah, but most artifacts actually change as you unlock stuff.
What's weird is I noticed this one finally more so than the other ones.
I know, right? I mean, it's fair because this one is definitely more obvious, but it has. I think I first noticed it with Season of Arrivals with the tree.
I probably did, and then I just didn't think about it as it went on. This one, yes, definitely more noticeable. Some pretty cool mods in there, of course. Energy Accelerant has been disabled. Your Dragonfly, Chain Reaction, and Firefly explosions deal more damage. And go figure, lots of things were pretty crazy with this, including Telesto doing 2 times as much damage than it normally does, is what people were saying.
2 times more?
Yes, 2 times more. So Telesto times 2 with this mod. Anyways, the mod is disabled for now.
Huh. That's weird.
All right. What's weird?
So apparently paradromic, which is an adjective, is something that is running side by side following a parallel course.
So you're thinking there's some deeper meaning there?
Well, I mean, the way they set up the season, they mention that the simulation and real life are indeed basically running parallel, and in order for one to survive, the other one has to go. So,
yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah, maybe kind of fits in.
Gotcha. All right. So after this, they have you then play around with inserting a Let me go to this screen, and now for the seasonal activity, we use our splicer gauntlet to insert key codes. Basically, we're actually inserting ether into it to create a key code. That's what we're actually doing. And then, of course, we can use our key codes in the new activity. It's almost easier in a way and just gives you the ability to open the extra chest. To me, there's something that seems easier or makes more logical sense compared to last season with the hammers. I don't know what it is, but this one, maybe just because we've been doing this for a while, but this one just makes more sense to me.
I like the visual effect letting you know that you're getting ether. Because I was very confused at first on what was happening. Because you just see these white wisps gravitating towards you all of a sudden. That's you collecting ether.
Yeah.
First couple times, I was like, wait, did they change? Because I know on the Arc Warlock, there's that option where you'll have little small white things on the ground come towards you. I'm like, wait, why is it much bigger now? And they're like, well, I'm not even on Arc. What's going on? And then it's something else. It's the ether.
And I definitely ran into that problem. Like, I noticed it. I'm like, what is this? Why is it coming towards me? And why is nothing showing me I'm collecting anything? What?
Yeah, it would be kind of nice to just show a little pop-up. I mean, even above the super bar or something. It's that wouldn't have bothered me, and it'd just be nice to know, I have more ether now.
Oh, and also the good...
I was just going to say, I'm sorry. I'm still distracted by this Vex Conflux here inside the King Dock. And I totally went down a rabbit hole and looked on Reddit, and as of what I can tell, there's nothing going on with it right now.
Isn't that what I said?
Yeah, but I still had to, I trust.
Is there any theories? Do they have any wacky theories?
Something about Mythoclast comes up, and
no.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, maybe needing Mythoclast to do it, but then they said that would make sense. God. But yeah, I don't know. There's 100 and some combinations of the crystals that you got to shoot. And somebody said they did them all, nothing happens. That's a lot of freaking runs to test, but whatever.
Yeah.
I just tried it a couple times, and it is what it is.
Because you're going to figure it out live on the podcast, and we're going to be world's first to know.
Right.
I mean, those people, like, if you're looking in raid secrets, they probably... I actually wouldn't doubt if there's someone that's tried every combination potentialities there. Those guys can be nuts.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it past them. I'm definitely not going to do it.
If it wasn't for the legwork of raid secrets, like figuring out Niobe Labs, like, at the start of the Black Armory season before anything ever showed up...
Mm-hmm.
People like Glad wouldn't have been able to take all the credit for completing it. But to be fair, Glad did at least shout out a lot of the fact that a lot of the legwork was already done. So,
right,
yeah, whatever.
Yeah, Raid Secrets is amazing. For those that aren't 100% familiar with what it is, it's a Reddit channel that is called Destiny Raid Secrets, but really it has to do with any kind of secret thing in the game. Don't let you think it's only about raid stuff. And it probably just started with that way back in the day.
Yeah, it definitely started with some kind of raid mysteries, but it has expanded since then.
Well, I think it was the D1, all the VOG stuff, trying to find the secret 7th chest and all that. I think that's how it started.
I'm not sure, because I'm almost wanting to say it was King's Fall that the actual subreddit itself was started.
Gotcha.
I think.
Could be that too, yeah.
Or that could just be where I found it and why it's significant in my mind. I'm not 100% certain because that was a very freaking long time ago. Yeah. But I have been following Raid Secrets for a while, like off and on. If there's something I really need to know or am just curious about, I'll just take a peek at Raid Secrets and see what they've been tossing around.
For sure. It's fun to go there. I go there probably a couple times a week and then just see what people are talking about.
Yes, also good news about this seasonal activity, unlike our last seasonal activity, It is once again grind as you will.
Yes, not time gated. Tell us more about
Indeed.
that. What is that that we get to unlock things?
Decrypted data. You
Decrypted
get
data.
decrypted data either through you can get some through the season pass. You of course get some on the first steps of the seasonal quest when you're being introduced to it. And potentially more, as seasonal, if there's more like seasonal quests through the weeks, we might get more through that. But you get, I think right now I get like 35, because I'm not 100% certain if there's a splicer gauntlet upgrade that increases your decrypted data. But at least at base, it's about 35 decrypted data a run. And decrypted data is both used to buy upgrades for the splicer gauntlet and is the currency to decrypt umbrals or not decrypt, but focus umbrals.
Focus. Yes, the word I was looking for earlier.
Yeah. So yeah, there's that. But it also serves as basically your season reputation. Just by receiving decrypted data, you get reputation from the seasonal vendor. So you don't have to save it to turn in reputation. As soon as you get the data, it counts towards it, so you can spend it freely from that point in time, either from upgrades or focusing umbrals.
Yeah, maybe this is why it all seems like more streamlined and easier to me. Although some might run into an issue where they don't like this thing being used for two different things. I like it. I think it's just going to be easier in the long run that you can use this to unlock more slots on your gauntlet, or you can use it to focus umbrals,
Which,
so it just seems easier.
Thank goodness for Destiny finally taking the path of simplified currencies, which they definitely didn't do for transmog.
I was gonna say.
You're saying they made it harder with that?
Well, it's brand new, but
not
yes,
harder.
It's just
It's annoying
Oh,
for that.
to deal
Damn
with.
You
near
got like
impossible.
three different things you got to convert. Of course, to be fair, one of those things don't actually track. I don't think it takes up a spot. Of course, I didn't see it, so I don't know.
All I know is I got a quest that you got to get synth strand, and I don't even have 150 yet.
Yeah, that stuff. Yeah. And
Well,
I don't
we could talk about
see
that.
it
I
in
mean,
the inventory. See, it seems like that's a currency that doesn't
I have it in
appear
mind.
in your inventory.
It
You
is.
do?
Maybe I have 44 right
don't-
now. I bought one of the 150 things a little while ago, one of the bounties, but I have another 44 already.
I have not, because I haven't. That's Phantasmal Fragments. That's decrypted data. I don't know.
Weird. You're not full, right, in your inventory of slots?
No. I have an entire row full. I have an entire row empty,
Hmm.
and I've collected enough to be able to buy one.
I see them. They're on the bottom for me.
How would you describe this? Like, it looks like a capsule, and it has.
If you take the 6 batteries from the Deepstone Crypt, and you just took them out of place, and it looks like you had 3 batteries on either side, that's what it looks like in the inventory.
Also, if you have any glacial starwort, it's similar-ish looking to that icon. Except it has like 6 white battery things on it.
Okay. Nope, still don't see it. I wonder if that. Hang on, I can make a quick trip to Ada and find out if it's still registering me as having it.
Well, see, this is the whole thing. I mean, we weren't sure exactly how this step would be, right? The initial step of getting the actual synth strand. So let's just remind people, you need, 150 of that, I think, to purchase a bounty?
Yeah, definitely 150 synth strand to complete a bounty.
Now, the funny thing is, okay, so this stuff does seem like it goes kind of slow. I haven't been tracking myself exactly how long it takes, but talking to some other people in the Discord, and I guess the idea is it can take about 5 hours of gameplay is what someone was saying. I don't know if that's true, to get 150 synth strand.
Oh, wait, there it is. I see it now. Sorry, I have 368 synth strand right now.
Okay, cool. But yeah, I mean, it's not.
So he's played about
like
10.5 hours.
Well, I don't know. It's not like the slowest thing in the world, but at the same time, for people that want to grind this out, it does seem like this initial step is a little slower than we were hoping to get the simple.
I don't know. I mean, considering we're only going to be able to unlock 5 sets throughout an entire season,
well,
I still don't think.
Yeah, then it doesn't matter.
Yeah, so I mean, it might be longer, but also at the same time, I don't feel like it's too long still. Because I still think that we can, like, just in your average playtime, you can probably still unlock 5 sets within a season.
Yeah.
Because I'm definitely not average playtime this week. Definitely not. No. I mean, obviously, considering I have 368. I could buy 2 of those freaking bounties. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've played a lot.
I want to talk about the bounties. I mean, the raid one's super easy.
Yeah.
I mean, at least for me, my first one was just do 2 encounters in any raid. Ooh, hard, you know. I mean, we run Deep Stone so much. I mean, it was done halfway through the raid.
Yeah, both me and Kato, like that first day, got the raid bounty because we had a raid that night. And we both ended up getting complete a final encounter in any raid.
Oh, okay, so that's another one. But that's still, if you're going to run a raid, whatever.
I mean, yeah.
Easy.
It was nothing. That's why at the end of the raid, it's just like, yep, there it is. Done.
And then I picked up my second raid one, and this one says 100 orbs of power in any raid or dungeon. You can do dungeons too. Yeah, this one's going to
sound easy.
Well, I don't know. I mean, maybe, but it's not necessarily hard. But I wonder if time-wise it could take longer. I'm trying to think how many orbs I'd get in one raid run.
If you have a bunch of banners, you could probably cheese it out. You know, go into Last Wish, pop a banner, like Warlock Well or Titan Bubble, over and 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 over. You only need like 50 runs, like maximum. You know.
Yeah.
Only.
Well, nonetheless, I'm still not too concerned because, you know, raiding a lot, all these bounties will get done pretty easily.
Especially for Warlock and Titan mains, because you're always popping wells and bubbles, so.
Hunters! I don't know. Run Tether or something. I did pick up one of the Vanguard ones too, and for strikes or Nightfall or something. I forget what it said to do, but I know I ended up getting it done also without thinking too much about it.
Yeah.
But one tip, and I don't know if this is an overall suggestion, but I know someone picked up Destination Threader, and it said to get a bunch of completions in the Blind Well, and they didn't like that one so much.
Oh, Muffin. Yeah, Muffin did that.
And it's bugged too. It says get completions or something about chest, I think it said, but really what it means is you got to get boss kills. And so also tier 1 doesn't seem to count on that, so you need to...
Oh, yeah, because you mentioned, I think it was... Yeah, because you mentioned that.
Mm-hmm.
Which, hilariously, would be, like, no problem for me, because I still have a crap ton of Blind Well stuff, and I'd never get rid of it.
Yeah. I'm just thinking about activities that I'm going to... I don't know, I'm pretty much always going to do the raid or the Vanguard ones, because I'm likely going to be running strikes or nightfalls with people, or even on my own, and then raids. So... I don't know how hard the Crucible or Gambit ones are. I think I heard one person say they didn't enjoy it, but I don't know if either of you had picked up any of those and have any experience with any of those ones so far.
Well, considering I still have 300, no. I have not picked up any others of the initial one.
Science. No.
I'm going to tell you one thing. I'm definitely not picking up a Crucible one. I learned that lesson with the Stasis Fragment quest, and it's like, no.
Yeah, I totally did one for the Stasis Fragment quest this time around as well. Yeah, it's not fun.
And the bad thing is they actually reduced it for the Stasis, the Crucible Stasis quest. So it used to be worse. Ugh.
Yep.
Oh, I know. I just don't know why I picked another one.
I don't know. See, now, like the original run of Strike ones wasn't that great. They're tolerable now, but I'm probably just going to end up continually picking up raid ones, to be honest.
Yeah. And so then once you complete the bounty... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, I was about to say or strikes. Yeah.
Yeah, or strikes. Once you complete the bounty, it looks like it gives you the 100 plush synth cord. And then you put it into the loom, and then it gives you the last thing, which you can store somewhat up to a max. The actual bolts that are used to do the final transmog. And you can have... The game kind of started us with, 11 bolts on each character, it looks like?
I think some of those bolts came from something other than that initial quest. I think.
Yeah. It came from somewhere.
I can't be 100% certain, but I'm almost wanting to say it was the seasonal, like the first step of the seasonal, maybe. I don't know, because I was doing a bunch of stuff that first day. But because I think Ada herself gives you like 6 bolts, which is enough for a full set plus 1 unlock, or 6 individual unlocks, however way you want to do it. But yeah, like I said, I think those other 5 came from something else.
Gotcha. All I know is I still have 11 on my Titan and Hunter. I haven't done any yet. I'm down to 9 on my Warlock. I'd used 3. I was down to 8, but then I built one more up. But you can hold up to 15 is the max.
Oh, that's not too bad. Yeah, I already used all my Hunter ones, so.
What'd you use it on? What do you like for your Hunter?
Each character, first thing I unlocked is our very, very, very initial set of white armor. Yes. And that is the armor we started D2 with. The armor we get to wear for an entire 5 to 20 minutes, depending on how fast you get to call, and then get kicked off the tower. Because the only armor you get to keep is that version, but damaged. So yeah, each character I unlocked that very first white set.
Is it the refugee, or is that what?
No, it's not the refugee. It's a different name for each of the classes.
Gotcha.
I am currently on my Titan, so don't think negatively on me. For Titans, it is the Brave set or whatever, like Brave Titan helm, Brave Titan gauntlets, like Brave Titan stuff. Because like I said, the set we get to keep is damaged Titan helm and stuff like that. And then for my Hunter, I unlocked the Reverie Dawn set, just out of the gate because it's glorious.
On my Hunter, I'll probably do that and or the actual raid, Last Wish raid. I like that one a lot too.
Yeah, that's probably going to be one of my next ones.
All Ada bounties are for the transmog or whatnot. Is that what
you do through Ada.
So why? Yeah. I don't think I've actually. Am I not to that point yet? If I haven't done my first one, where I have to collect 150 of these Sid strands.
Well, you have to follow all her suggestions, including doing one transmog, even if you don't want to. So just do what she tells you to do, and it'll continue along the quest.
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe I'm not there yet.
But you could be. You could be, sir.
But I'm not.
I don't know, because that's the thing, because Ada herself doesn't handle the unlocks. That's another thing
Yeah, I'm not even done.
I might have heard about
8 of 9. That's my problem. That's why I don't see what you're talking about.
Because when you get the bolts, Ada does nothing with the bolts. You unlock the ornaments from your appearance screen. And that's where the bolts come into play.
Yeah, that new screen.
So and also for those that don't know, there is like a all option, like where you can set all of your armor to an individual shader. It is just above the helmet. It's like shader all. It's like a yellowish box. I'm sorry if you're colorblind, but yeah, it's like above it all. And then you can shader everything in your armor if you want to. So yeah, just in case.
Tip, but I know. Yep. On my Warlock, I picked the Escalation Protocol armor. I don't know that it's necessarily one that's I could say is my favorite all roll in the long run, but I do remember liking that one a lot, and so it was just an easy first pick without having to go through the screens forever and really kind of understand which one I wanted to do. So I'm more than happy now having the Escalation Protocol armor back on my Warlock.
Neat. I'll let you know what I pick when I get there.
Yes, people want to know, Sin. People are... in fact, we have many people on the live show right now listening and wondering, Sin, what are you going to pick for your armor? Even Nolsey knows what he's going to do, or what he did. He said the first thing he transmogged was the Solstice of Heroes legs from last year.
Another good choice.
It would be... I don't even know. The Forge armor. That seems right. That seems like a good one. Honestly, I don't even know.
But Forge armor is dropping this year again.
I know. That's what made me think of it, just because it is dropping again.
I don't know. For some reason, now that we have transmog, like mentally, I think I don't give a crap about particular sets anymore. Like, I'm purely keeping armor now for stat rolls rather than how they look, because I definitely have enough like ornaments and then the potential for future ornament unlocks that I can make it look however I want, so I don't really care anymore. So just give me the good stat numbers.
Give you all the stats and you'll be good.
Exactly. Like, for some reason now that we have this system, it's like I can easily just delete, pull a Matt Hardy, delete armor, and yeah.
Oh man, I'm just laughing in the chat. Sin Nolsey's reminding us you remember about the hero legs, Solstice of Heroes, right? Those were one of the harder things to get done. and Nolsey was big D'ing it because of having those done.
I see his middle finger gif there.
Also, Truth posted, I guess he's working on this kind of graphic, this can be a cool thing we can put in our channel, but basically what to expect with different bounties in the transmog system. So example, we were talking about some of these, but there are all sorts of options for the raid ones, not just complete 2 encounters or complete final encounter or orbs of power. There is also, as a team, get 150 arc, void, and solar kills, or defeat 50 challenging combatants. So I won't go through all of these, but that was just an example of the different raid ones so far.
Yeah, and that is now a part. That is now a part of our infographic section as of right now.
Excellent. Yeah, yeah. We'll continue if you update this at all, or if we find out more information. Of course, we can change it and update it also. But this is good information as it is for sure.
Indeed, and also massive shout out to the work you're putting in on that, Truth, because the little watermark in the corner, he did it.
Yay!
Very nice.
So shout out to Truth Lives. That is Guardians Ghost Cast with Truth Lives and Sweaty Spooks and King Kai. And speaking of Destiny podcasts, since we're on the topic right now, I want to give a shout out to another up and coming Destiny podcast. They just came out with their first episode. Whether we wanted it or not, Destiny podcast.
God, such a meme name.
And this is with Sharp Valor, and was there someone else? I'm sorry, I did not get.
There's 2 other people
yet.
At least.
Okay, I don't know who all the hosts are right now, but Sharp Valor. A lot of you have seen that name in the Discords. So I will add it to the list and all the details as I get more, but definitely do a search for whether we wanted it or
That
not.
that is Sharp Valor, Jarbarius, and Vazomega.
Yes, those names sound
that's
familiar.
in their that's in their Discord, which I'm also lurking, and maybe friends. Who knows? It might be 4. I also have not finished listening to the episode. I'm sorry.
But why should they listen to at least the intro, Des?
Definitely listen to at least the intro, so that way you get to hear a bunch of these really cool Destiny podcast hosts be complete and utter douchebags.
But in such a cool way. It was excellent how they added that all together.
All I'm going to say is I don't remember hearing Sin in there, Mr. Sharp Valor.
Would you have even been available?
Hey, I would have made it work.
But it was fantastic because he sent me a message saying about when to get it done, and it's like, yeah, sure, we'll connect at some point in time. Then I remembered it was Saturday, and it's like he wanted it done before the end of that, so it's like, oops, let's get that done. Because as soon as he asked me, I just had this idea. Since he said what he wanted to do, it's like red carpet event, celebrity type, pretend to be a celebrity. And it's like, yeah, I'm gonna be a douchebag. Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty
good. Some people think there's not a difference between me and that. So hey,
All right. Well, boy, we talked about. Okay, we can, unless there's anything else on the transmog topic. We need to get back to just a little bit more of everything that's been going on with the new season. Of course, the seasonal activity override. That was the next part.
Oh yes.
Or some people like to think of it. Season of Arrivals 0.5.
0.5. I love it. I'm sure now. I hope they add a harder version or a heroic version or something that we can even maybe go in with a fire team that we have to pick our own. It's not match made, kind of like what they did with Sundial or Menagerie. Please, hopefully we will see. But nonetheless, initial thoughts, and I know it's always easy to say this at the beginning, but we've had enough experience now with activities that this one ain't too bad. It's definitely up there in the list.
It's all right.
What'd you say, Sam? It's all right?
It's all right.
Okay. Is it lower on the list for you of all the different seasonal activities?
It is. I wouldn't say it's lower on the list. Why is this playing in my ear?
So it's all right. It's right in the middle. It's just all right.
Yes, just all right. I do like it set up a little bit different. It feels like it's set up a little bit different than past seasonal activities. It's just all right. I think it's gonna lose its luster at the end of the season, though, like the other ones have.
Well, kind of. Hopefully, that makes sense at the end of the season. Do you think it'll lose its luster even way earlier, like a few weeks or something? Because that would be more concerning than end of the season. It's pretty normal to lose it at the end of the season.
Yeah, I mean, yes, I think it'll happen before the end of the season. I just don't know for most people when that will be. I don't know if I'm going to run it over and over. I didn't do that with Battlegrounds and other seasonal activities. Like, I missed out a lot on Sundial when that came out. I don't know. The seasonal activities for me, once you get past the point of getting everything you need it for, it's just meh. I'd rather, like you said, run raids, do other things.
Well, yeah,
PvP
I'm not
even.
really comparing it total to like everything, but as just a seasonal activity, my main point was I'm enjoying it a lot so far, and I don't mind rerunning it a lot so far because I'm nowhere near getting all the weapons, the roles that I want.
Yeah, I mean the premise is definitely kind of Arrivalsy. But that's only like the opening part, essentially. I mean, there is at least more to it than that.
Yeah.
But I think its primary saving grace, at least in my opinion, is just the fact that it's a 6-man match-made activity. So unlike the Arrivals public event, which, if interest dwindled in that, good luck. But for stuff like Sundial, Menagerie, and now this, which we'll see if this still ends up being true, it seems to be easier even when interest gets low to actually still get into and be able to do successful runs of it. Usually.
Yeah, that makes sense. The way they're setting it up, and we know that, we mentioned this before, last week or the week before, we know there's at least 3 versions of it. So it was on Europa, and then as of a recording Monday night, so tomorrow, by the time this podcast is out, probably, depending on how quick Sin edits it, but there will be, what's the next planet or the next version of it? I'm going to pull
Was
up
it the moon?
Calendar here. That sounds possible.
I know the moon is there, but moon might actually be later.
It is the moon next. You are correct, sir.
Right,
May 18th. Override the moon.
Memory worked for me. Holy crap, it's a miracle.
Yay. I'm helping.
Right?
I can't say mine's that good.
And then a third version, May 25th, on the Tangled Shore. Now, there's rumors of other things already, even of... This doesn't even seem like we have to say spoiler. I don't know if anything will even come of this, and this is not going to spoil anything, but there might even be a version of it in the Scourge instance in the camp with the Fallen. Who knows? I don't know where I heard that rumor, but
that'd be curious.
Yeah, that'd be curious, and who knows? But like I said, I hope we know there's at least 3, and I hope there's some extra whatever, even if it's just heroic on the ones that we already have.
Maybe.
Maybe. Definitely maybe, kind of, sort of.
I also do love the fact that we're actually launching this seasonal activity from the helm itself, or from the helm screen.
Yeah.
For some reason, that just really, satisfies me. For some reason, the fact that we don't have to go to the helm and then go to this other subdirectory and figure out where... Because it kind of annoyed me that Battlegrounds, the quote-unquote playlist, I mean, it kind of made sense, but still, now having override on the helm screen for that playlist just makes way more sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so in retrospect, Battlegrounds kind of became a bummer to me. That its playlist is in a different section entirely.
Yeah. Well, I had a lot of fun with the activity. If you turn the music way up, because of course it has the cool Tronish-esque type music, and it's kind of a smaller play space, honestly, for a 6-player. And so
A little bit.
with the ads coming in with 6 people, you can just go ham, just take things down in any manner you want, use whatever weapon you want, have fun with things, talk about weapons here in a second, but yeah, I was having fun with a lot of different weapons in there, just kind of whatever, and hoping to get many more good rolls also of different things.
Right. Now.
Yeah, right. Break. No. After these messages, we will tell you about our different weapon rolls.
Right after these.
After these messages,
we'll be right back.
This episode brought to you by
House of Devils.
House of Devils. Sin, don't you or me.
Oh, God.
Okay, Hazel.
All right. Let's talk about weapons. Actually, let's talk about the special one first. That's not part of the null composure. There you go, Des. Nullsy composure. Shout out to Nullsy.
Nullsy composure.
Yeah, that was a little much grinding it quickly because I wanted to get it quickly, but it's done. So now I don't have to worry about grinding out those activities as much anymore. I have it. It's done. It's fun. It's my quick review. Of course, it doesn't hit as hard as Loaded Questions, but in some aspects, it can be better in the right circumstances, especially if things are void, and especially if the ads are more minorish, if that makes sense, in big groups of ads together. Make sure it's loaded, one shot, reload, and once you start getting kills, it'll reload faster. So I like it. I've been having great success with it in the seasonal activity. I've been having minor success with it in the first encounter of the raid. Oh my gosh, there's so many things to talk about in Deepstone. And I haven't used it too many other places. I used it in Gambit. Didn't really love it in Gambit, but I still want to try it some more there. Any impressions on Null Composure or thoughts?
I'll let Des take this one because I don't have it yet.
What? Sin?
I'm at 97% for activity completions.
Okay, work on it during the podcast.
I planned on it now that I know that I'm that close. I've been trying to work on this dang catalyst for this Deathbringer. I've just been mindlessly going around doing rocket kills right now.
Always something to get distracted on, right?
Yeah. Well, I got a lot of catching up to do.
Have you tried Null Composure much, Des?
I have, actually. I even have the Vanguard ornament for it.
Excellent.
Oh, wait, there's ornaments?
Come on, just like last season.
Yeah, it's a ritual weapon. So you unlock the weapon, and then you get to unlock one or all three ornaments, or any mixture of the three.
And those parts go pretty quick.
Yeah. Right, I'm going into Gambit.
Vanguard isn't too awful to get the ornament. You just have to. I think the hardest part is completing 3 nightfalls, which isn't really that bad anyway. But and it hilariously for this year, you don't even have to use for the Crucible ornament. You don't even have to use the fusion rifle. You can use fusion rifles or soldier weapons.
Yeah.
Which I don't get why that, because it's not. But anyhow.
Yeah. Don't use it. Use a different use the solar fusion.
But no, I mean it's a serviceable fusion rifle. Like rapid fires definitely have an interesting place. Just in the overall meta. Of just everything. Because yeah, I mean it's just don't pick it up and expect loaded question like 100%, because it is literally like the polar opposite in archetype to loaded question, like just entirely, because I think that one was aggressive and this is rapid fire, so
yeah,
way other end. But that being said, like much quicker fire rate weapons, it does have like a better overall DPS. Which no, doesn't apply to bosses and things, but more specifically just in things in general. The only bad thing about higher DPS weapons is usually that they don't tend to be ammo economically friendly. So definitely like prepare for like, ammo finders and crap like that. But yeah, I mean it's fun. It's cool to get Reservoir Burst back. And if you're not really super keen on Reservoir Burst, you don't even have to use it, because it has an option between that and high impact reserves, which are 2 highly like suitable perks.
Yeah, for sure.
For various activities. So yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Go for it, Sin. Everyone's doing it.
Yeah.
All right.
You're not a true friend of Nolsey if you don't have it yet.
Not a true friend of Nullsy Composure.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I should have it after this.
But for like a super in-depth review on like its capabilities, though, does mention before recording, guy on YouTube, Ironworker Gaming, does a significant breakdown of Null Composure. It's very detailed, covers both PvE, PvP aspects, gives ups, downs, just gives a very thorough breakdown of what this weapon is capable of, with very little opinion except for his own personal conclusions, usually at the end of his videos, which usually still has very neutral basis, essentially. So, yeah. So if you're not sure, go check that out. And yes, you will be a little more informed about what this weapon is capable of.
Yeah, for sure.
This man does work I refuse to do.
Is that a problem?
I don't like the
No, it's
Vanguard wrap on it though. I like just the plain wrap better. I'll see what the Crucible and Gambit one it's like.
about the same.
Oh, the scope too
Except,
is really nice on this weapon.
I know, right? It's like that is like the best part of it. Is like this scope is super nice.
It just feels easier than. I mean, I was using Hollow Words a lot, and that just seems like a chunkier, messier fusion. Even though I do really well with it in Gambit, but this one just seems like sharper because of the scope. So probably better suited. Not that I would use Hollow Words in Crucible, but this one's probably a lot more better suited for Crucible. And I know even Nolzy has posted a video, and some people have gotten work done with this fusion in Crucible also.
Well, it's rapid fire, so don't expect it to do the fusion thing of mapping people.
I know. I'm used to the glacioclasms and the Arentals, and so rapid fires aren't necessarily for me, but since I like fusion so much, it could be for me. Maybe I just got to try this some more and see how it works.
Yeah, like I said, it's still serviceable. It's just the fact that after some tuning they did a while back, rapid fires need like 6 out of 7 bolts to land in order to one shot. So, but again, reservoir burst high impact reserves can augment that damage and augment those bolts a bit. In fact, I think both options raise the bolts to kill or lower the bolts to kill by a bit. I think high impact reserves make it a 5 bolt, and if you can get a full magazine of this thing in Crucible with the reservoir burst, I think it becomes a 4 bolt, which is fantastic. But then again, that requires a full magazine in the Crucible. Good luck.
Good luck there. All right. Well, let's talk Season of the Splicer, other weapons, the seasonal weapons, the weapons that are kind of purplish with green wires.
There are 4 of them.
4? I thought there was more than that. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4. I count 6. Am I wrong?
What am I missing? Okay, no, this is actually missing the
grenade, sidearm, pulse, shotgun, machine gun.
Yeah, the shotgun and the MG actually isn't in this list, so that's fair. So it is 6. Oops. Because technically those are the season pass weapons.
Yeah.
But you still get them from the seasonal activity. But Light.gg separates them apparently. As far as like pure, you're not getting it from anywhere else other than this activity. Yeah, there's 4, but again, the shotgun and the MG.
You'll try Chroma Rush.
Chroma Rush.
Yes, Sin. We'll get to that in just a second. Let's start top of the list.
Sorry, it's the one I'm using right now. So,
okay, what role do you have? Do you like it, sir?
Oh, I have tap the trigger, dynamic sway with flared or steady, and fluted or chambered. On the range masterwork, and I like it okay.
It's not bad.
It's all right. It's all right. Although I don't have any other mods on it. I should probably put a mod on it. I'm using it in Gambit right now. So
yeah, there's some roles you may. I mean, I'm going to go through a list here, and if anyone has other suggestions, this one I already got a pretty good roll on. One that I wanted, I got a feeding frenzy and a rampage together. Just a good traditional, pretty good roll of. I mean, with the feeding frenzy, I was running this the other day when I was getting the kills. Holy cow! I mean, should have known how fast reload would be, but this was just blowing my mind how fast it was reloading. So
yeah, it's got some Narbar to it.
Yeah. So if you get that feeding frenzy with like kill clip or rampage, whatever you prefer for that slot, it's a pretty good traditional roll. However, one that I really want, a couple others that I really want to go for too is, of course, subsistence. Yes, I wanted to say it right because the buff that it got this season, or the new heating up perk.
Okay,
heating up is nice.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Heating
Okay,
up
so
is
I know
super
kind
nice.
of. Can you explain what that does more? I kind of know, but
It is.
I'm trying to see if I have a weapon that has it on it right now because I say
Well,
that
heating
and then
up
I don't even.
is with a kill instead of, but it pretty much does have final blows with this weapon increase. Crap, and final blows with this weapon
It's
increase
heating up.
accuracy and stability while improving vertical recoil.
So it's heating up.
So
It's getting better as you go along.
yeah, like this perk is like, and it seems to work actually because my first roll on a Chroma Rush was actually heating up Rampage, I think. Sounds about right because I think the other roll I had was Feeding Frenzy and Kill Clip. But no. So initially I was using this one with heating up, and within one or two kills, like in PvP or PvE, it's shooting like a freaking laser beam. Or at least it's controllable, and the more kills you get, it's just so like narrow and accurate. It's just mind blowing. But then I switched to the Feeding Frenzy Kill Clip because, of course, that's, like you said, a more traditional role for stuff. And I actually couldn't quite hit things at the ranges I could with this other one because it was freaking bouncing everywhere.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it produces a very noticeable effect. And I kind of fell in love with it.
Gotcha.
So,
So I want that. Yeah. So I have, like I said, Feeding Frenzy, Rampage, but I kind of want to get Heating Up Rampage and Subsistence Rampage just to play with those two.
yeah. My suggestion for this thing, because like I said, it's serviceable. Like at first, because it's basically our replacement for the Steel Feather Repeater back in the Saint 14 season of Dawn, was it? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, so it's like finally our replacement to that is a kinetic rapid fire auto rifle. It feels about as good at base as that, probably. I can't compare the stats because I haven't finished updating the spreadsheet, so apologies. I was going to do that when I got home from work, but then I started playing Destiny, so oops.
All is forgiven.
Yeah. But yeah, it feels like super nice. Crap, where was I going? Poop. Oh no, yeah, suggestion. Because like I said, heating up feels nice. Rampage, of course, is great because you can throw a Rampage spec on there. Because if you don't really need, like, Feeding Frenzy is nice, but you don't really need it. If you just roll this thing with Alloy Mag, that's really all you need. Because
Yeah.
Alloy Mag stacks with the intrinsic for rapid fires anyway. So yeah, it's Alloy Mag with the intrinsic, just it's all you need, really. Like, yeah, Feeding
Exactly.
Frenzy
Because
is
it already has a fast reload, even
exactly.
without Feeding Frenzy. Yeah.
But if you really want to watch some funny stuff, definitely have a Feeding Frenzy roll and stack that sucker up and then reload it because it is
Yeah.
hilarious.
It is hilarious.
But yeah, so yeah, that's definitely my suggestion for that thing. Because again, like, heating up is such a great like utility perk, and then you can still get a damage perk, and because it's a rapid fire, you don't really need that reload perk. I feel. So yeah, Alloy Mag or maybe even just Flared Magwell might suffice, but I do love me some Alloy Mag. So
Nice. So yeah, fun gun. I mean, all these guns are amazing looking again. These seasonal weapons, great details. Even though I wouldn't think like a purple green color palette would be interesting, it's really,
It does look
I like
nice.
it. Yeah,
It does very, very much look nice. And live update, because I know you really want to know. My Nullsy Composure is now done.
yay!
yay! Congratulations.
So what's your long-lasting impressions of it right now?
I don't know. I just picked it up, and I picked up all the bounties to get the ornaments. So,
all right, we'll play with it some while we are talking about some of these other weapons. Yeah.
I guess next in the line is the weapon that somehow Sin called last week.
What?
The fact that, ignition code
Remember,
is a
Sin?
grenade launcher.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Oh, yeah.
The
That,
somehow
baby
you
grenade launcher.
somehow you looked at it and you're like, oh yeah, this grenade launcher. I'm like, no. Yeah. So, it is interestingly a kinetic grenade launcher. I think the second one in the game after Militia's Birthright. And I'm not a huge fan of breech-loaded grenade launchers, so I mean, it's a grenade launcher.
Yeah. I saw there's a lot of interesting roles this can come with. I don't know if you have any suggestions, but slide shot could be good with this for that second to last perk, and then the last perk kind of you could go with like either demolitionist, frenzy, vorpal, kind of whatever you want there.
One thing I will say is this thing can roll with a new perk called Danger Zone.
Yes, I was
which
going to mention
sounds
that too.
amazing.
I do not know what that does yet.
Amazing. I think this perk is a joke.
A joke? Like it's too good, or
No. Okay,
like
here's what.
highway to the danger zone kind of joke. Like,
well, sure.
Okay, Danger Zone. The blast radius of this weapon increases when surrounded by combatants.
Yeah.
This sounds like you're gonna kill yourself perk. Is what this sounds like.
Oh yeah, because like you'd have to shoot it way far out before you're safe.
Exactly.
Because if you're surrounded by a lot of
holy
combatants,
crap.
you wouldn't want to shoot it too far away, so you could get them, but then it could kill you.
Exactly, because I mean, that doesn't seem like the best thing to have when you're surrounded by combatants. To me,
We'll
is higher
see.
blast radius.
If anyone has that, please let us know.
If you can make it work, show me, because otherwise, in my head, this is a joke. Like somebody had this idea and somehow it made it to like production. I don't know. I don't know how to take this perk. It's on rocket launchers even, and that blows my mind because that's definitely something you.
Yeah.
Oh my god. But yeah. So yeah.
Yeah. So who knows
That's
how
all I know.
much this weapon will get use out of a lot of people, but it's an interesting, fun new weapon.
I mean, it's great for people that do like breech-loaded grenade launchers because it is rare for us to get a kinetic one. So that way, if you have an energy weapon you really like, you can now have an option of a kinetic grenade launcher to use that preferred energy weapon. So it's, like I said, I don't much like them, but also at the same time, it does serve a really cool purpose because it is kind of a rare edition.
That is true. Yeah. I mean, I'll get a good roll and hold on to it. I just love how these look. I'm looking at the sidearm now, and this is very nice looking too. Yep. The farewell sidearm.
Farewell.
Which
is probably what most people. Which is probably what most people will be saying to this sidearm. Bye, Felicia.
Hey, but I want it with full auto and multi-kill clip or something like that. It'll be
I have that
kind
roll.
of fun. Yeah, that's right. I thought that was you. We were talking about that.
Yes. It is fun. I will say that, but my God, it kicks like a mule. Yeah, it's at least with full auto and multi-kill, it is definitely a fun gun, but also not a huge fan of semi-auto or single fire sidearms. I'm more of a 2 or 3 burst sidearm kind of guy. So this one is another one that's kind of fighting an uphill battle with me, but I will say full auto multi-kill is a lot of fun.
Yeah. And or you could go heating up multi-kill, but then you would lose the full auto.
Yeah.
Well,
it's
something. I got to roll with Vorpal, which is interesting and something, that's for sure. Yay, sidearm on a boss.
Yeah, no, right.
or not.
Or not. All right, Sin, we got a dad pulse coming up, the grid skipper.
I did try it once.
Did you?
Yeah, let me look at my roll actually while I got it here. That is this. I don't think I have got a good roll. I got snapshot and tunnel vision with high caliber.
This weapon, I'm not loving how it looks as much, but it's still kind of cool looking. But it's lower on the list.
Yeah, I mean, I like the theme of it. I think it's okay.
That's kind of a tragic roll.
Yeah. Yeah, I tried it and didn't really like it. I'll just put it to you that way.
Well, that's the weird thing, because snapshot usually like increases your ADS speed pretty much to its maximum that's going to be. But tunnel vision, when you get a kill and reload, increases. Is it just? It definitely increases ADS speed. But yeah, and target acquisition apparently greatly increases target acquisition and ADS speed while after reloading after a kill. So yeah. I don't know how that works with snapshot, but
well, tunnel vision multi-kill could work. Yeah.
Oh yeah, like those would synergize really well, because again, it is a rapid fire archetype, so it has that slightly faster reload when magazine is empty. It feels pretty nice, I will say.
I don't like
haven't really had a. I mean, yeah, it's.
I can't complain too much. This seems like a gun I would just use in PvP. I wouldn't use it in PvE at all.
Oh, for sure. I mean, it's like rapid fire pulses are actually super good in PvP. I think.
So Gator's happy. We got some good. We got a good pulse.
Right. Yeah, I think they're about as effective as high impacts, actually. If not as, it is very close. So yeah, like this is actually a very competitive thing, and as far as just the general feel, it's like really serviceable even without great perks. So yeah, this could be like a PvP shiner.
Yeah, sure. I got a potential PvP role. I got moving target high impact, and so that could work well there. You know, we have the Nullsy Composure. This will be called the Gator Skipper. All right. Anything else we want to say about this one, or we good?
I think we covered it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Should we go to the shotgun? Right? Is that next?
Yeah, shotgun. If I can find an easy way to freaking.
Sojourner's Tale.
Probably not. But yeah, Sojourner's Tale is a energy slug shotgun. Like we needed another.
Yeah.
The most spectacular thing I can actually say about Sojourner's Tale is definitely save. Like if you are like a slug shotgunner in PvP, save this season pass roll. Like 100% save that roll. Because it is hammer forged. It is, I think, accurized maybe. I can't remember what the middle perk is, but it is also moving target. And Dragonfly is kind of iffy, but yeah, it could be something worse. And it's a range masterwork. So this is basically like 80 to 85% a really good PvP roll. Just in the season pass. So that's about the best thing I can say about Sojourners right now. But sadly, again, I prefer pellet shotguns because, you don't have to aim quite so much. But yeah, Sojourners, it is, of course, a slug shotgun. Slug shotguns are super, I mean, they have more range than a normal pellet shotgun, so it will be serviceable. And like I said, just the season pass roll is a decent PvP roll, to say the least. But yeah.
Yeah.
It has a weird scope, though. I kind of like it, but it is kind of weird. Because it's kind of like a flat line, almost.
Yeah.
Well, by almost, I mean it's pretty much a flat line with a red dot.
No,
But it is open.
Could go with auto-loading frenzy on it, maybe.
I've got auto-loading surrounded on mine.
It says it can also get Dragonfly, which is interesting. So you could do the new season well if they bring the seasonal mod back.
I'm sorry. I don't have auto-loading. I had a quick draw. My bad.
Ooh, there you go. That's actually really good.
Quick draw surround.
Yeah, it is what it is. And then, what, the machine gun?
It's called something.
Shattered Cipher is what it's called.
There we go.
I just want to make sure I didn't miss any other weapons. I was kind of going down the list.
There we go. Which again, another rapid fire frame weapon. Season of rapid fires is what this is.
Yeah.
Was that a problem?
I know, right?
Mhm.
I mean, it's rapid fire. I mean, I think they're some of the better ones to use as far as like damage goes. But of course, you know, it's going to chew through ammo. Because I think 21% 21% delirium, I believe, was a rapid fire as well. But of course, what made that great was killing tally, which we're not getting that. It can at least roll with rampage in the second slot, which is probably about what you want.
Yeah, probably. Just if you want the damage and maybe like heating up rampage.
Either heating up or I don't know, for an MG, like autoloading wouldn't be the worst thing in the world.
Oh, for sure. That'd be a good roll, for sure.
Yeah. But otherwise, yeah, either rampage. Considering it is rapid fire, maybe Zen moment.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, with the change to unrelenting, that might also be good. But yeah, this is rapid fires are just in a weird spot. So I don't know. I'm more hoping that because Bungie mentioned in I think it was the last TWAB, that MGs definitely kind of need a retuning or a tuning pass to kind of, get their design philosophy, which I do like the fact that they did tell us an MG's design philosophy, which is pretty much to mow down ads primarily, but also to service as serviceable boss damage. But it is not doing the latter as they would like. So hopefully we can see like a pass on that and see them being a little more useful other than glorified ad machines.
Yeah.
Because that's all there are right now. So yeah.
Well, there you go. The seasonal weapons. Totally worth grinding for. Well, it depends on if you want them or not, but it's something for sure.
Yeah, most of them.
I am still excited to get at least several different combinations of these. And,
yeah, because also at the very least, the sidearm is a lightweight frame. So, go faster. So it's always nice.
Yeah. Excellent. All right. Well, we could consider wrapping it up because we may have a bonus podcast coming up.
It's not really a bonus. It's just, yeah.
Come on, Sam, roll with it.
If you want to go and take a ride with me.
Anything in the TWAB we should go over? Because maybe the next TWAB will be out by...
12 was actually pretty light. I didn't see anything of significance other than the news that the unintentional crossplay was patched out.
Yeah.
Basically, with that hotfix. Other than that, like I said, I don't remember seeing any. I looked at it once, but I didn't see anything major. Other than, hey, Vault's coming.
Unintentional crossplay.
Oh yeah, Iron Banner. Yes, they had crossplay leak out into the public if you basically do the hokey pokey.
You do hokey pokey, yeah. I mean, just to tell people real quick, I mean, if you're not following the news, Bungie told us crossplay will be fully released season 15, which as of this point looks like it's August 24th. They also told us we will be beta testing crossplay this season. Now, we don't know what that even means. It may be limited groups. It may be an open beta, but we would assume it's coming later in the season. Anyways, there was some code put into the game to probably prepare for all of this, and people found a backdoor into it. That it's a little convoluted, but wasn't anything totally crazy to do, and found out a way where you could do crossplay early. You kind of had to use a PC as the main intermediary. I'm sure that'll be obviously not how it works in the future, but people were cross-playing, so, but now it's gone.
Yeah, it's gone. It's no longer a thing.
Man.
Which, I
Still
mean,
very interesting, though, that if they could turn it on just as a flick of a switch like that, why can't it be? Like, why can't they just turn it on now?
They didn't turn it on. It was just in the code, and
exactly.
people found a backdoor into it. So
Exactly.
what basically
it means
they
it's on. It's on.
well, yeah, that's what it technically means. But what it also means is they didn't close the code enough because they didn't want it on yet. So when it came out, people found a way to take advantage of it.
And let's be fair, if you've got to do the hokey pokey to get into anything, it's not actually on.
Yeah. Probably like the code is there, but they're going to update the server stuff more. Where I'm sure how it's going to work in the future is because we're already seeing this. If you look in the clan list, you can see whatever platform you're on. It'll have a little icon next to them, Steam if you're on PC or whatever. So obviously those icons are in place ahead of time so that when crossplay comes out, you can see your whole friends list and what platform they're playing on and probably just be able to select them that way.
Yeah.
At least that's what I'm guessing.
I mean, I love how people tend to gravitate towards, they flipped a switch. This is Bungie code here. Okay. And the one thing I'm definitely learning through the years of playing a Bungie game, Bungie isn't really known for incredible coding. Like, let's be fair here. Like, usually if a coding thing can go wrong in a Bungie game,
It will.
it will. But yeah, I mean, because we're talking like combining 3 different customer server entries basically that are separated entirely because Microsoft didn't want to play with Sony, who didn't want to play with Steam, who didn't want to play with Microsoft type crap. So yeah, so now having to this late break those walls down entirely and let them beta test it, let them spend this season getting as many kinks out as they can, because it's still going to be messed up when it releases. Calling it.
That's fine. At least we're
But yeah,
getting
it's cool.
closer.
They'll fix it. Exactly. Yeah. They'll fix it. It'll be fine eventually. But hopefully especially all this testing, because I think I'm seeing like general consensus is definitely well, why not just turn it on now? Just let them fix it.
No, because they would have to. People would complain, and then they'd have to have some at least general support for it, and they probably don't have the. It's not in their plan right now to have it fully released, so don't turn it on. Yeah.
Yes, and they told us it was going. They gave us a season it's going to be ready by. So far, still going to be ready by that season. So take a breath
and just let it happen.
And just let it happen.
Yeah, I mean, everyone kept saying it was coming soon, and soon didn't mean until season 15, so it's still coming soon. So, August 24th. That's our supposed go date. All right.
And then those of us on the Sony side can finally teach you Xboxers how to raid. Just saying.
Shots fired.
Just a little bit.
The Xboxers that say raids take 3 to 5 hours. They don't on the PlayStation side. Sorry. Love you all.
45-minute Deep Stone Crypt runs as long as your name isn't Gator. Wait, what? Sorry. No, still love you though. But yeah.
Yeah,
take a breath. Be patient. Stop being a Veruca salt. You don't have to have it now, Daddy. Okay?
I want it now. I do want it now. I hope if it's a limited beta test, I can somehow get in there because by having all the platforms, it might make it easier to test against since I have different endpoints to me. But whatever. I'm patient too. If I don't get it till August 24th. All right. Yeah, that looks good. The TWAB.
Did you just do like a little?
I was scrolling through it. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing anything major.
Yeah. Well, friends of listening to the show, let us know on these weapons If you have any roles that you like, let us know on your thoughts on the season so far. Let us know whatever you want to let us know. We will talk about it or we won't.
Definitely share those weapon rolls, and maybe something you show me can change my mind about a particular weapon I'm not so fancy on. Maybe. Probably not, but,
Just
still,
maybe.
I like
if
saying
you
interesting
try
rolls.
hard enough.
Mm-hmm.
If you believe. Clap your hands if you believe.
Sin, did you at least get one shot with null composure yet?
Yes, I only got one shot. I did not miss my chance to blow opportunity.
I mean, you are only supposed to have one shot and then ideally reload it.
Yes, I used it in Gambit, and it was I like it so far, but that's only for a couple moments of actually testing it out.
Yeah, try it in Override or somewhere where you get lots of ammo with it.
Actually, yeah,
Sure.
because it's
See what you think on that.
All right,
yeah.
override it is. Not tonight, but soon.
For sure. Well, in that case, we will start wrapping this up, and we want to thank everyone again that did tune into the live show. Great feedback as always. Great
Indeed.
poking at us. Nosy poking at Sin.
As usual.
Truth giving us an interesting infographic. I mean, this may be the only Destiny podcast that has received an infographic live on the show and then talked about it.
Right? And then posted both versions, because now version 2 is in our infographic section.
Yes. We talked about it in our podcast before you did, Truth. No, actually, you may have talked about it.
Thanks for giving that to us. We used it.
Exclusive.
Yes,
Exclusive.
Anyways, thanks everyone. And let's go through our contact info. Des, where can people find you?
You can, of course, at least find the spreadsheet, the Hephaestus Index, at DES_Raven on Twitter. Because at the very least, that's what my Twitter's for. But of course, you can find me roaming around in numerous of these inner circle podcast discords, at the very least, lurking, which is probably the better bet to get in touch with me. Sin!
You can find me all across the Cosmodrome with Nulsy Composure in hand. Pause. Or you can find me on Twitter at Sin_media. Kingsley, do your thing.
I think Knowles is going to have to copyright that term. We're going to have to pay him every time we say it. Anyways, you can find me as Kingsley Mac on all the places, and I stream occasionally, mostly while I'm raiding. But on Twitter, I am actually MC Kingsley. And you can find our show either on Twitter as The Guardian Hub or through our website, theguardianhub.com.
The best hub on the net.
With over 10,000 downloads.
Yes, I was going to say, you better not forget that. Thank you all for 10,000. Mm-hmm. Here's to the next 10,000.
For sure.
Very nice, sir.
Very nice. All right, everyone. Thanks for tuning in this week, and we really appreciate it. And we will see you again next week.
Bye.
Later.